How bad can it get? Next on the Mental Health Challenge. I found myself laying in a hospital bed looking up at the ceiling in a giant room with about 15 other people who seemed to be just like me. We were all waiting for our turn to be treated or electrified. If you can picture a farm with cows in their stalls waiting to be milked, this is how I could best describe this scene. Sounds strange, right? We were all in a so called stalls that were numbered, waiting and waiting for our turn. What the heck am I talking about? My depression got so bad that when I continued to fall into another abyss of lowered feelings, or what is really called a hellacious, never ending deep dive into severe depression, there really was no way back to the life of the living. I had hit the bottom, and nothing, not even medication, would lift me up, not even a tiny bit. It was now my turn. I was hooked up to all kinds of wires to monitor all my vitals. The nurse penetrated my skin with the IV needle, or tried to. My, veins, my veins were tricky, so they always had to call in the specialist to be successful in getting that little needle into that one vein that would be the key to knocking me out. As I laid there, with my head tilted to one side, I could feel tears starting to roll down the left side of my cheek. I was scared but hopeful at the same time. This process is called ECT, or electroconvulsive therapy, known to most people as shock treatment. Simply put, the doctor was going to hook electrodes to both sides of my head and blast voltage from a battery into my brain. My doctor would say, "We're going to get started now." They put some type of creamy lotion on both sides of my head and attached the jumper cables. They weren't really called jumper cables, but it sounds better to give you an idea of how graphic this sounded to me at that time. They injected my vein with the knockout cocktail. I could feel the cold fluid rushing through my body. They put an oxygen mask over my face, and the doctor would say, "Are you okay?" What if I said no? Could they stop the process? I don't think so. As the liquid sleep began to take effect, I heard a loud noise and saw a bright light, like a freight train was coming right at me. A millisecond before impact, the lights went out, and so did I. I woke up in a small room where a guardian angel appeared. She was the CNA assigned to bring me out of my deep sleep and bring me back to life. She gave me cookies and juice. I called her my guardian angel because I felt like I was dead. She was so kind and caring and full of positivity. At the beginning of this process, I was truly petrified to go into the land of the unknown. I came out of it, and there was a small dose of peace that warmed my entire body. It was not a cure, but a beginning of a teeny tiny glimmer of hope. This was the first of many. I was prescribed to take part in this experience 3 times per week. I lost track of how many treatments I had in a total over time. Very, very slowly, over many months, my soul was awakened and I began to feel minute lifts in my mood. I'm not sharing this part of my story to freak you out. I want you to know that there were consequences to my actions. I willingly decided to go off my meds. I wanted to be so called normal. I wanted my kids to have their dad not labeled as a mentally ill bipolar patient who had to take meds to survive life. The consequences were devastating in so many ways. I have proved for the last time that normal for me is to rely on antidepressants and mood stabilizers to carry me through the upside of life. The inner battle was now over. I conducted my experiment and the truth came out. This is a battle that most people will not understand. The stigma of having a mental illness is embarrassing and looked down upon in our society today. In reality, this experience and the results of this experiment can be a message to so many that have the same inner battle. Maybe my story will infiltrate the minds of the suffering and give them, or you who are watching, the capacity to make good decisions on your path to recovery. Normalcy is different for everyone. You have to decide what is best for you and your mental health. Can you get past this struggle? Absolutely. This is the whole message here. As horrific as many of our stories can be, there is still hope and light at the end of this deep, dark hole of pain from depression. That's why I choose to take my mental illness and call it a mental health challenge. My fight is coined as courageous perseverance. I can look you in the eyes and say, yes, I do understand. And yes, you could find your way to mental health freedom by unlocking the chains of stigmatizing defeat and turn it into a success story, to give hope to those who need it. I would not change a thing in the choices that I have made in finding my way through this tumultuous path I have taken. I have greatly suffered, and many others around me. The truth is that strength gained from this and a positive view looking forward could change lives. I still continue to fight, and I courageously persevere. I know that I am loved, I have value, and I am needed in this world. And so are you. Peace.